that we've been always looking at for the last 20 years. And this is again a new technology. I worked as a CEO of NMICPS, which is National Mission for Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical Systems, 25 institutes, and we'll reflect on that. But this is a perennial problem. I should have started with Reena. Reena being possibly the only, there's two women represented here in this roundtable. Reena, what's your reflection for 3 minutes? And Reena from Jidus Group.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me opportunity to share my thoughts regarding cell and gene therapy. So I have actually worked for CAR-T projects for 2 different industries so far. And what I have realized is that the industry itself has a very, business-driven attitude towards this particular field. And because of that, it is always going to have a limited amount of risk appetite, I would say. We all have this Me Too kind of mindset, and it's very difficult for the farmers to really come out of that mindset just because they want to also make a lot of profit out of the things. But cell and gene therapy is different as compared to the regular pharma kind of stuff. So we also need to think in terms of the business model as to how these cell and gene therapy novel products, if at all we are able to, of course, make, because what I also see is there's a lot of resistance in terms of trying out different technologies, different novel things. Although people are excited, a lot of work is going on abroad, but when it really comes to India, there is as he very rightly pointed out, just CD19 is the only thing that people are working upon. Maybe Dr. Reddy's is doing BCMA, but that's also again something which is already approved drug product. So I personally think that a lot of work also needs to happen in terms of the framework of the mind with which we approach cell and gene therapy. The other thing that I personally feel is that a lot of evolution needs to happen at the regulatory front as well. Because unless and until regulatory framework becomes more concrete, even these products which are already tried and tested outside, they face a lot of more challenges to come to the patients. So that's something which I personally feel that if the regulatory framework becomes more concrete, that really helps.
And that nicely ties up with what Arun said about, make in India, but globally. The lovely phrase that he used, I think I wrote it down, India first globally. Right? And unless we align our regulatory boundaries like that, that is...
And also I would say that the regulators should not just try to see things from the FDA perspectives, because they have a very different markets. They have a very different need. What happens is most of the times, even the guidelines that come out, they are just like, trying to copy paste whatever has been done outside.
So FDA leads and the rest of the world follows mentality, right?
Yeah.
So how do you overcome that? Great points. Any other point, Reena?
If we are running out of time, it's fine.
Yes. Okay, thanks. So 2 from this side, let me go to this side now. They will say that, we've been ignored. Let's start with the young man who does 2 things. A lot of young men here. Who is in India and also in Spain and France, and now shifted from Vellore to Pune, whom I'm talking about, Vaibhav.
So thank you, first of all, and I'll try to stick to 3 minutes. And it's a very counter perspective that I have here. I generally, and Lentistem was started when I was transitioning from academia to industry. And the question that we were discussing with my founders, co-founders, were not these problems. To start something, I would like all of you to imagine what have been the good industries in India. If you look at IT, it was able to prosper. And of course, raw material means that computer was the only thing we could get once and it can stay with us forever. But there were other industries we had in past, like textile. And if you learn from those industries, what exactly led to demise of those industries, or rise of those industries. And the core are actually two things here. First is people. If you don't have people, because these industries are not on the on the land. You can import all Boston tomorrow here in India, but you can't make a single product because you don't have people. People want to be there. You will train people and then they could love to be there. Okay, so the question is, can you create, I think, ecosystem part? The ecosystem is not only about those materials but also about the men and women. And second thing, IP. And I think maybe Arun may not like it, but we are all using those cars designed by somebody else. Okay, we are not designing ours. Why? Because it's risky. But our population is different. We should be working on them. And it's not that we are not going to do. It's just that we are not doing in advance. We have 6-year lag. The new cars will come from India, which are IP protected in India, will be again 25 years, like maps. So there are two parts to it. One is, yes, people, we need to find or create an ecosystem where young people, I think there are like 8 students behind me sitting here. They all love to stay in Hyderabad or Bangalore or in that industry, created by Immuni, in like Sahara. Okay, it's not a good name today maybe, but Subrata Ghosh created in Lucknow a place where people who don't want to live in Lucknow also would love to go and live in Sahara city. Reason? It was people loved it, right? So you need to create places where people can create intellectual property and stay. That's one important thing. And I know people are going to be talking about raw material and other things. And one last point is, don't cut their thumbs like we did for textile people. And what is cutting thumbs in terms of CGT today? Okay, I know it's a very vague example, but in our case, cutting thumbs generally means cutting livelihoods, okay, cutting salaries, not having enough support for prolonged time when you know the industry requires 5 years to 10 years to develop a drug. We need to think about PhD fellowships or postdocs, or the industry has to think about a rising scale of pay or something where they stay there with the company or with the lab for longer times. That is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. So people, IP, making our own raw materials here, including constructs and all of that. Great points. Thank you, Vaibhav. Let's move. I'll bring in now Subhra, my good friend Subhra, who is to my left.
Hi, good morning to all. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I think this is a fantastic platform, and thanks to IKP for bringing me in. And I think morning I like what Arun said. You're the new kid in this domain. Honestly, yeah. In cell and gene therapy domain, it's a new experience for me. But my major experience is in vaccine, and I spent some time in BIRAC to understand that ecosystem. And this is true. I mean, a true reflection that I can give basically what is required today to bring the CGT to the next level. Because